Erev Tov, and we're at the weekly class, the Dvar Malchus class, learning the concepts of Mashiach and Geula as they have been given over, said, and also edited by the Rebbe Shlitah Melech Mashiach himself. And we're holding in the parsha, in the portion of Vayikra, in the hard copy. We're on page 10. And in the PDF file, for those that received the PDF file and are looking and following it, we're on page 10 as well. And we're on Ois Zayin, letter 7. And the Rebbe says as follows. And we must add that the chazaka, the repetition that brings about a status of that which is permanent, a permanency in the service, in a manner, in the service of the human being, in a manner of the miraculous behavior, through the fact that we take out 3 Torah scrolls on the Rosh Chodesh of the month, Hebrew month of Nisan, that falls on a Shabbat. This is also relevant to the annulling, the nullification, and the removing of concepts habilti ritzuyim, that are not desirable. Also, as hinted to in the recitation of, and it was at the time that the Holy Ark would travel. And your enemies, the continuation of the verses, and your enemies will be scattered. And always, every week, we see that something that we learn in the Dvar Malchus, even though it's not the weekly Dvar Malchus of this week, which is the Eve of Rosh Hashanah, but we see that it always has an importance. It's always relevant to the time and age that we are learning, this period of time that we are learning and studying this Dvar Malchus. Yeah? As we said, that it was at the time when the Aaron, the Holy Ark, would travel via Futsu Gamer, and your enemies will be scattered, as we have been we have been seeing, and we have been testifying with our own eyes. Beitzah Sefer Torah, when we take out the Torah scroll, Valachas Kama V'Chama, and how much more so, Gimel Sefer Torah, 3 Torah scrolls, Kanizkar Le'el Sif Gimel, as mentioned earlier in the letter Gimel, Shemishapchim Letev, that this is the source and the cause that changes, that makes the turnabout, like we were saying earlier in the story, that everything is turned about and revealed for the good, on a revealed basis that we can see with our eyes of flesh and blood. Ishapcha chasheicha lenahira, the transforming of darkness to light. Unbelievable. I feel the excitement as we are learning now, and it's literally, like we said, as we are seeing with our own eyes. And this concept is hinted to in the reading of all the 3 Torah scrolls, and also at the end and the culmination of these readings in the Haftorah. In the reading, and the Rebbe goes and elaborates. In the reading of the portion of the month, Parshas HaChodesh, this month is unto you the head of all months. Reish Chodesh Shel Geula, the head of the month of Geula, redemption. For the month of Nisan is also called the month of redemption, the month that the Jewish nation, we had our exodus from Egypt. Shebishmeis HaChodoshim She'olu imahem miBavel, that in the new names that came with the Jewish nation, they came up from Babylon, Iraq of today, to Eretz Yisrael. Nikra b'shem Nisan. This month is called Nisan. The names of the months. sheyesh boi beis nunim. It has in the name Nisan 2 letters of nun. Sheremez shel al nisei nisim. This hints to miraculous miracles, says the Rebbe. And the Rebbe is quoting from the Talmud. The Talmud in Tractate Brochus. V'yesh leimar, and we must say, Sheremez gam al afichos anafila, that this hints to the downfall, the turning about of the downfall, Rosh Tevas Nun, which is right, also begins with the letter Nun, Nefila, downfall. The Golos of the Golos of exile, Kosov Nafla Gamer, like it states, Nafla in the prophet of Amos, that the Golos exile is compared to a nefila, a downfall. L'nisei nisim de geula, that nun of nefila is transformed into miraculous miracles, the double nun of the redemption. Ulehoyer, and to just mention, the Rebbe says, shesium the choisam parshas hachodesh, that the end and the culmination of the portion of the month, bepasuk bechol mosh v'seichem teichlu matzes, in the verse, in all your settlements, you shall eat matzahs. That in this is hinted to the annulling and the total removal of all those matters that are undesirable, that come from the Yetzer Hara, shenikra chometz, that are called. They are also called chometz, all matters that come from the Yetzer Hara. Ad shebechol mashveiseichem, to the extent that in all your settlements, leirak b'Yerushalayim, not only in the holy city of Yerushalayim, shleimus sagira, which represents Yerushalayim, the completion of reverence of Hashem, leinishar elam matzes, does not remain in all our settlements other than matzot, matzahs. Like it states, Es ruach hatuma Yetzer Hara avir min haaretz, that the spirit of impurity, the Yetzer, that represents the evil inclination, avir min haaretz, I will remove from the land. So therefore, that which is chometz, that is represented by the Yetzer Hara, is removed, and that which remains in the land of all the settlements of the Jewish nation, not only Yerushalayim and not only Eretz Yisrael as we know it today, but Eretz Yisrael as it is explained also in the Holy Zohar, that is going to be spreading out to the entire world. What is left? Only matzahs, only purity, only that which is goodness. Ba'akriya Rosh Chodesh, and then the Rebbe goes to the reading of Rosh Chodesh, right? We have Parshas Chodesh that is read in honor of the month, or beginning of the month of Nisan, and then we have the reading that is read every Rosh Chodesh, every beginning of every single Hebrew month, which is the reading of Rosh Chodesh, K'maimer Rabbeinu, as is stated by our rabbis of blessed memory. In regard to the sacrifice that is offered on Rosh Chodesh, Hakriya de Rosh Chodesh, and this is also the reading of Rosh Chodesh, Haviu kapara olai. It's brought in the Medrash that Hashem comes and says, bring for me an atonement. Bring for me a sacrifice, and offer this sacrifice to atone for my sin per se. Hashem is saying about himself to the Jewish nation. For I have brought to the tzimtzum, the contraction of the light of the moon. That in this same kapora, atonement, is included all the inyanim bilti ritzuyim, all the undesirable concepts shenasu that occurred from the fact that the moon's light was detracted. And to the extent of the completion of atonement, that those things those sins that were committed intentionally are changed, they are transformed into mitzvahs themselves. And to the extent that they are literally zchuyos, they literally become merits for every single Jew and for the entire Jewish nation. And this is similar to an example to the rectification, the miut hayereach lo asid lovei, of the symptom of the taking away of light of the moon for in the future. Like it states, that the light of the moon is going to be the same intensity as the light of the sun. Lo asid lovei, in the immediately now with the coming of Mashiach. And again to mention, the Rebbe says, Shechibur de Shabbos, that the connection of Shabbos, Hashlemus de Yimei HaShavua, the completion of all the days of the week, Hatluyim b'Malach HaChama, that are dependent on the orbit of the sun, V'reish Chodesh, and the beginning of the month, Shatoli b'Malach HaLavona, that is dependent on the orbit of the moon, Merumaz Mashakosuv. In this is hinted that which is written, Ve'aya or HaLavona ke'erachama, that the light of the moon will be equal to the light of the sun, just as it was at the beginning of the creation, before Hashem detracted from the light of the moon. And we go on to say, Ubehakriya, and in the reading, the Parshas HaShavua of this week's portion, again, not this week's portion per se, because what we're talking about is this week's portion is Shabbos. We're going to read the portion of Ha'azinu. This week's portion, we're talking about the portion that we're learning about, the portion of Vayikra. So in this week's portion, Vayikra, the Rebbe is talking about Parshas Vayikra, Sheba Medubar Gam, that in which is also spoken about Oides Korbanos Shemechaprim Al Inyonim Bilti Ritzuyim. Also, it speaks about these sacrifices that are offered as an atonement for those matters, those actions that a Jew might have or the Jewish nation might have committed, that are Bilti Ritzuyim, that are not desirable. Until we come to the end and the culmination of the portion. It states at the end, that we are guilty of, that hints to the completion of the transformation of darkness, ashma, guilt, linahera, to light. That we bring about the innocence of every single Jew, the innocence of the entire Jewish nation. And this is also hinted to in that which is written, that all your sacrifices that you offer, all those peace offerings, they shall be salted. They shall be sprinkled with salt. Kayadua shemelach, as known that salt, memarek umevasem meriru leat oma, mar lehat imei. That salt has the ability to go and to change over, and literally to go into to bring a positive taste, and change that which is bitter into that which can be edible and that which can be relished. Like we see, for example, and that this is the concept of transforming darkness to light. And the Rebbe doesn't mention here directly, but as we know, when we go and we salt olives by their nature are bitter, and when we salt the olives and we let them marinate in salt, they become edible, and not only edible, they become a delicacy, and they are relished by the palate. V'chen ba'aftorah the parshas hachodesh, and also in the aftorah of the portion of the chodesh, siyum v'choisam makriya b'chol hashlosh sforim, the end and the culmination of the reading of all the 3 Torah scrolls that we take out. That in addition to the fact that it comes after the haftorah, like we said before, the haftorah ends with the transformation of darkness into light, the guilt into innocence, the parshas para, of the portion of para, even though the portion of the month, of the beginning of the month of Nisan, comes before the burning of the ashes of the red heifer, which is on the 2nd day of Nisan. This is in order to go and to alert and to warn the Jewish nation that we must purify ourselves in order that we will be able to offer our paschal offerings in a state of purity. Meduber ba'aftorah, it states and is spoken about in the haftorah, atzma itself. It speaks about the concept, the issue of atonement. Hu hanosi yases hachatos gemer, he, the leader of the generation. Yases hachatos, he shall offer the sin offering, lechaper be'ad beis Yisrael, in order to atone for the entire house of Israel. And you shall purify the sanctuary. And you shall bring atonement for the temple, for the holy Beis Hamikdash. And after the reading of the Haftarah, the Parshas HaChodesh, of the portion of the Chodesh, Meisifim b'Shabbos Chodesh Nisan, we add, when it falls on the beginning Rosh Chodesh of the month of Nisan, Pasuk Rishon ve'achron me'Haftarah Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, the first and last verse of the Haftarah of Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, when Rosh Chodesh falls on Shabbos. HaPasuk Achron b'Sefer Yeshayahu, the last verse in the book of Isaiah, Shebei Medubra be'inyan bilti rotzoi, in which it speaks about a undesirable matter, an undesirable issue. That we will be the belittlement of all flesh. Ella sheli yosesiyum v'choisam. But since it is the end and the culmination, everything goes after the culmination, after the seal, the end. Sefer Yeshayahu, the book of Yeshayahu, Milshon Yeshua. The book of Yeshayahu is coming from the terminology of salvation, Yeshua, Shekula Nechamasa, that all the book of Yeshayahu is comfort, Nechama. Comes the Rebbe and says and finishes, Al Korchoch Tzarich Loimar, we must say that this comes to hint of the transformation of darkness into light. And is also stressed on a revealed basis, that we end with a positive note. That positive note that can be seen and revealed through the fact that we go and we repeat the verse that comes before the last verse in Yeshaya, and it will be every month in its respective month, and every Shabbos in its respective Shabbos, all flesh will come to bow before me. Omar Hashem, so has Hashem spoken. May this be Teichef Miyad Mamish, immediately now, with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMoshiach, and the true and the complete redemption, and the Geula Shlema Vamitis, and the third and the eternal Beis Hamikdash. And the main thing is it should be Teichef Umiyad, Mamish, 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 immediately in actuality. Now, Yechi Adonenu, Moreinu V'Rabbeinu, HaMelech HaMoshiach Le'olam Voed. And since it's the year before Rosh Hashanah that we're celebrating this Thursday and Friday, we would like to wish all the participants within the entire Jewish nation, Aksiva V'Chasima Teva, Lashana Teva Umesuka, that everyone should be written and inscribed for a good and sweet, a sweetness that it should be taste on our palates, sweetness that should be revealed to all the eyes of every single individual in the creation. V'ro chol basar yachtov ki pi Hashem diber. All flesh shall see. That is the word, that is the mouth per se of Hashem that has spoken. With the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMashiach, Teichef Umiyad Mamish, Yechi Adonenu Moreinu V'Rabbeinu, HaMelech HaMashiach Chai V'Kayom Le'olam Voed. Amen.